on bonds for this year. It will also pay a single coupon of 9% on the 12 new bonds it proposes to issue to domestic bondholders who tender their old bonds. A joint statement issued by the Ministry of Finance and the Ghana Association of Bankers on Monday said, the parties stated after a crunch meeting on Monday to negotiate new designs and concessions to make it easier for banks to participate in the voluntary domestic debt exchange program. The government and bankers also agreed on the removal or amendment of all clauses in the exchange memorandum that empowered the Republic at its sole discretion to vary the terms of the exchange. The Bankers Association also asked the government to provide clarity on the operational framework and terms of access to the Ghana Financial Stability Fund, GFSF. The fund is expected to help fund managers, banks, insurance companies, and the like with cash flow to meet their obligations as they fall due, given the cash flow challenges the debt exchange program will bring upon the participating institutions. Even though bond coupons are usually paid in 2 installments under the domestic debt exchange program, the government proposed to pay no interest for this year, stating that bonds maturing from 2024 will receive a 5% coupon in 2024 and thereafter between 9% and 10.65%. However, the new development by the Ministry of Finance and the Ghana Association of Bankers, GAB, stated an agreement to pay the 5% coupon for 2023 and a single coupon rate for each of the 12 new bonds, resulting in an effective coupon rate of 9%. The association had earlier instructed its members not to participate in the program until certain agreements were reached. However, the joint statement said the government of Ghana and the Ghana Association of Bankers have made significant progress on the terms for the participation of banks in the domestic debt exchange program. It said the agreement encompassed final improvements to the terms of the DDEP. While the Ghana Association of Bankers said it recognized the progress made, it noted that the participation of its member banks in the DDEP per the new terms was subject to each bank's internal governance and approval processes. However, such processes should not go beyond Monday, January 30th this year. The Krobia Asante Technical Vocational Institute has been closed down on the orders of the Ghana Technical and Vocational Education and Training Service following routing by students which caused damage to property. All students have since left the school for their various homes. Consequently, the chairman of the Ashanti Regional Security Council, Mr. Simon Osei-Mensah, has announced that a 5-member committee will be set up to unravel the circumstances that led to the demonstration at the institute last Sunday. Speaking to the media after touring the school to assess the level of damage caused by the routing students, the regional minister directed all school prefects of the Krobia Asante Technical Vocational Institute to report themselves to the police or be declared wanted. He also asked the parents of the prefects to ensure that their children reported themselves to the police to assist in investigations or be arrested. According to him, the prefects would not have run away from the school if they had no knowledge of the incident. Mr. Osei-Mensah, who is also the Ashanti Regional Minister, said there was a need for the police to know the role of the prefects in last Sunday's demonstration that led to the destruction of school property worth millions of Ghana cedis. The regional minister expressed surprise at the level of damage caused and said the level of impunity could not be tolerated. The students vandalized school property, including vehicles belonging to the school and teachers, food items meant to feed them, educational materials, and school infrastructure. While it is alleged that the students' action was to vent their anger on the management of the school for their poor performance of their predecessors in the 2022 end-of-year examination, the District Directorate of Education said there had not been any official communication to the district on the performance of the students. The regional minister's order followed a crunch meeting with the management of the school, traditional leaders, and other stakeholders to find a lasting solution to the development. More than 40 students have been arrested by the police and are currently in police custody assisting in investigations. They will be screened and those involved in the disturbances will be processed for court. The Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer, Mr. Makufori indicated that the causes of the demonstrations were yet to be determined. The school was established in 1996 by the Asokorehene Nana Dr. S.K.B. Asante to provide technical and vocational training to the people of Asokore and its environs. Some of the courses offered at the school include wood and building technology, engineering technology, fashion technology, and hospital and catering management. Heads of African investment promotion agencies, businessmen and women, as well as academia, will meet in Accra on Wednesday, January 25th, to strategize on how African nations can add value to natural resources through foreign direct investment to boost their economies and create jobs. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Mr. Yofi Grant, has announced. The discussions will be held during the first Assembly of African Investment Promotion Agencies (IPA) meeting at the Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel in Accra. Mr. Yofi Grant disclosed that participants will deliberate on measures necessary for the adoption of common trade framework and investment protocol to enhance intra-Africa trade and investment. Mr. Yofi Grant made these disclosures when he took his turn at the Meet the Press series held at the Ministry of Information in Accra.
This morning's event is to apprise you of the first annual, should I say, meeting or assembly of the African Investment Promotion Agencies of Africa in Accra on Wednesday, the 25th, at the Kempinski Hotel. This has become quite important because of the developing, should I say, landscape in the global economy, but not only that, but Africa itself is trying to forge a new narration in its relationships with nations around the world. You might recall that the global COVID pandemic did a lot of disruption. We thought we were recovering. Then the crisis between Russia and Ukraine brought in itself and in its wake even more serious problems that have affected many of our economies. Now, Ghana is hosting this because I actually represent Sub-Saharan Africa on the board of the World Association of Investment Promotion Agencies. So my remit in that case is to rally all the investment promotion agencies in Africa for mutual benefit and to see how we can reassess the opportunities and reposition the continent as a major recipient of foreign direct investment.
The World Investment Report by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, in 2021, according to the Chief Executive Officer, indicates that post the COVID-19 pandemic, Africa's foreign direct investment increased from some $40 billion in 2020 to $83 billion in 2021, which was the highest the continent achieved over the last few years. Mr. Grant said Africa needed to reposition itself to attract FDI to boost investment in its numerous natural resources. The GIPC boss noted that even though Africa had many natural resource endowments, including lithium, bauxite, and gold, and with 70% of the world's arable lands, it was still a small player in terms of global FDI attraction, with only 5.2%.
The World Investment Report by UNCTAD in 2021 did indicate that post-pandemic, Africa's foreign direct investment increased from some 40 billion in the year 2020 to approximately 83 billion in 2021, which is the highest amount of foreign direct investment the continent had achieved over the past few years. Now, despite that increase, which was just significant increase, it is still only about 5.2% of global FDI flows. And some of the other regions which Africa is competing with are achieving multiples of our foreign direct investment flows.
He underscored the need for the leaders to leverage on the African Continental Free Trade Area (AfTA) to trade among themselves, since it was one of the largest trading blocs in the world. He lamented the low percentage of intra-Africa trade, hovering around 18%, and urged African leaders to leverage on the huge population of the continent for wealth creation.
Currently, Africa's population is about 1.4 billion. By the year 2030, that will rise to about 1.7 billion. Still a very significant market. And as we speak, so as a region, it's very important that we take advantage of the AFCFTA because it virtually puts us into one tariff-free block that we can optimize to bring about wealth creation on the continent. Admittedly, if you look at the business environment of the continent, only about some 480 companies on the continent generate revenues of over $1 billion a year. And of that 480, significantly, a lot of them are multinationals. And so it's about time that we actually facilitate real indigenous growth on our grounds. And this meeting is going to discuss how we can work together as investment promotion agencies to optimize the opportunity that we have on the continent. And of course, as you all well know, the direction that Ghana has chosen under the maxim of a Ghana beyond aid is to add value to our raw materials and resources.
He highlighted the benefits of value addition in these times, which he said should be the key direction of Africa, that is, to become an export-strong continent. The meeting of African investment promotion agencies will take place alongside the Africa Prosperity Dialogue series, which is scheduled to discuss ways to enhance economic growth and transformation of the continent.